Hello everyone, I'm Berk. Why can dramatic masturbation cause erectile issues? Dramatic masturbation syndrome occurs when he experiences erectile dysfunction, especially when there's good rigidity during masturbation, but issues arise during a relationship, such as being unable to start the relationship or experiencing loss of rigidity during it. Along with difficulties in pleasure, that's when it turns into traumatic masturbation syndrome. We have one scientific study on this, actually two. Traumatic masturbation can lead to erectile issues in 60% of cases. It can cause erectile issues in relationships for men. Or we found that 60 out of every 100 men who engage in traumatic masturbation can experience erectile issues in relationships. Now, let me briefly recap for those who are hearing about traumatic masturbation for the first time. Traumatic masturbation is when you perform sexual acts during masturbation that you can't do in a relationship. Of course, you can perform some sexual acts, some of the things you do during masturbation, as fantasies in a relationship. But can you do it continuously and consistently? For example, you're constantly masturbating while watching porn in a short time. Can you do this in a relationship? You can't do it continuously. Of course, in terms of fantasy, this amount can be applied, but if you can't do it in a relationship, then there will be a problem. Now, for more detailed information, we have both a book and videos. You can watch these now. Let's get to the topic. Why does solid masturbation lead to erectile dysfunction? It does, or even though your erection is good during masturbation, why do you have trouble with it in a relationship? Another question is this. Now, first of all, why do the organs in our body? It works reflexively according to the relationship. Look, this is very important. So the functioning of the organs is actually not under our control. Many of our organs, for example, you drink water. It goes to the stomach. It gets absorbed from the stomach, mixes with the blood, and goes to the kidney. The kidney excretes this as urine. You eat, and digestion happens in the stomach. You run. And your body reacts to this, your heart reacts to this. It speeds up and prepares you for this situation. So, we are not in control of any of these. These happen reflexively. For example, can you say something like this? I am drinking water right now. I am drinking. In a little while, I will be traveling. So give that command to your kidney. You can't say, don't urinate for 3 hours. You ate something. That's why you can't say, I want you to digest this in 3 hours instead of 2 hours. You can't speed up or slow down your heart while you're standing still or sitting. Therefore, these work reflexively. How does the penis work? The penis is also an organ that works reflexively. If you decrease, your penis becomes erect. If you have a sexual desire and you are decreasing from the action you are doing, at that moment, your erection happens reflexively. That's why I uploaded a video. I think it's been about 2 years, because you can't control your erection. The only thing you can control is your pleasure. So if you can manage your pleasure, then the rest will automatically happen if you don't have any physiological issues. So what's the topic here? It's about pleasure. Now think about it this way. You're masturbating. The most common way of masturbating is by watching a porn movie and continuously using your hand on your penis. In this way, you're masturbating for short or long periods. In this way, you've learned to experience pleasure. So, is there such a visual aspect in a relationship? No. There is some visual aspect, but not like this. First of all, you are already the second person in a relationship. So you're not a third person, like in the movies. Look at the situation from the outside. You're not looking. For example, in the doggy style position, what you can probably see is a back or the hips and so on. According to the angle of the camera in the film, when you get used to this visual aspect, when you get used to experiencing pleasure this way, what happens when you don't drown in the relationship? There is a loss of pleasure. What happens when there's a loss of pleasure? There will be a loss of erection. Another situation, again, in a relationship, for example, touching on masturbation by watching the same porn movie together. Now, visual aspects and touch. Visual aspects and touch. Now, we said that there is no such visual aspect in a relationship. there is no such touch either. So there is no constant touch, no continuous state of touch, foreplay and so on. At that moment, you need to be hard enough to allow for foreplay. But since there is no such visual aspect and constant touch, what happens then? You can't get pleasure. The topic is experiencing pleasure. I'm repeating it because you can't experience pleasure. You don't get hard. This whole thing is completely related to pleasure. So, teacher, my erection is good during masturbation. So, is it just because of this pleasure? Is my erection bad? No, of course, there can also be a physiological issue it can create in traumatic masturbation. Why? Because think like this. Think like this. You are masturbating. Let me give you an example. You're going into the bathroom. You get hard within 2 minutes. Premature ejaculation happens within 1 or 2 minutes. Let's say you've been doing this since you were 14 or 15. You come to a point where you will be with a 25-year-old woman, or excuse me, you will be with a woman. So what has your penis and body gotten used to? Quickly, there's a sudden desire for a certain gender. Nice. There is rigidity. There is rigidity for a short time, or full rigidity, but it lasts only briefly. You ejaculate and it's over. Do you have a chance to do this in a relationship? It's not very likely. It needs to last for a while in a relationship. It needs to last, but your physiological background, your veins, your muscles, your nerves, your way of thinking, your excess is not suitable for this. So, honestly, I give my patients this example. I say, you are a 100-meter runner. You've done all your training according to this. Your muscles, veins, nerves, everything has been adjusted for this. Well, we're telling you that when it's time to race, you've done 100-meter training. All right, run 10 kilometers. How far can you run? Neither your veins, nor your muscles, nor your nerves, nor your mood, nor your feelings, nor your way of experiencing pleasure are suitable for this. So there could be a physiological issue as well. How will we distinguish this? Is there a physiological problem or not? We will distinguish this like this. We will put an end to the behavior of traumatic masturbation. We will replace it with proper masturbation. At that moment, even though you start to feel pleasure from the masturbation or the relationship, if you're still having issues with hardness, then there's also erectile dysfunction. You need to get treatment. Thank you.